My name is Stefanie Drozd, and I am a full practice authority nurse practitioner and the owner of Express Med Spas. I got into the aesthetic industry after working almost 2 decades in the hospital in bone marrow transplant ICU and in medical infusions for cancer and chemotherapy. And once COVID hit, the hospital became very hard to work in, and with my kids and everything else, I started to look for something that I could do as a hobby on the side, as something that was more fun and lighthearted than what I was doing every single day. And I became so busy with aesthetics that I started doing that full time. I opened my first spa in March of 2020. That's when I kind of started getting all the business stuff going, doing things on the side. I officially opened my first medical spa in June of 2020, and that was in Frankfurt. Then in September of 2020, we opened Mount Greenwood in Chicago. Then in January of 2022, we opened LaGrange. And then June of 2022, we opened Westchester, and December of 2022, we opened Shorewood. So it was very fast. And I think there's just something fun about not having any clue what you're doing in business and just running with your gut. And that's what I did. Having worked with very, very sick patients pretty much my whole medical career, I always was drawn to aesthetics because it's well patients and no one is sick, and you're dealing with relatively well healthy patients in a very different kind of environment. And that's why I thought that aesthetics would be a great hobby for me, so that I could still do everything I was doing in the hospital, but then do something that's still medical based, but is more fun and different than what I was doing in the hospital, so that I mentally had an outlet to just kind of decompress from what I was doing with my everyday to-day life. Looking back, it took me about 2 years to make the plunge to do this full time, because I definitely felt a lot of regret of leaving bedside nursing and seeing patients that are really vulnerable, and a lot of death and dying, and a lot of getting to know people and their families. And I struggled with that for a while, because my mom would always say, "Steph, it takes a very special person to work with cancer patients every day, and are you sure you want to, do what you're doing?" And I feel like I did that. That was my calling for then, and I did that for 18 years, and now it's tried to focus on myself and my family. Our team is amazing, and I said when I started, I'm just gonna own this business by myself. I was the janitor, I was the front desk, I was the phones, I was the website designer, and just because I knew my work ethic and I knew what I wanted to provide to people, and I wasn't really sure how I was gonna find other like-minded individuals. And then I looked at everyone around me that I surround myself with, and a large part of our team comes from the cancer industry and our colleagues that I used to work with. And another large part of our team is former patients that have just followed our journey and been really intrigued and interested and wanting to be a part of a great staff. And so we have a really second to none team at Express Med Spas. If I was a patient, I would only come to Express Med Spas. No, if I was a patient, I would definitely come to Express Med Spa, but I will tell patients what I tell them every single day, and that's, it's okay to get a second opinion. It's okay to, if you like the way one of our staff does your Botox or your filler, it's okay to want to request that person for that service, and maybe you go to another med spa for something else. I think that it really takes a village of people in this industry, and it's truly an art that we do. And I feel like it's always good to, just like if you're getting your hair cut, you might like the way one person cuts it and one person colors it. Express Med Spa is always hiring. We do have an amazing opportunity for staff that maybe want to shadow the industry and just kind of see what we do every day to day. So if you are a nurse, or you're a nurse practitioner, or a dentist, or a doctor, or an esthetician, and you want to find out what the aesthetic industry is, we offer shadowing opportunity as well as a full-blown externship that goes 2, 4, or 6 weeks, and that's at expressmedspauniversity.com. If you want to make an appointment at Express Med Spa, you can go to shewantslips.com or call 877-EMedSpa.